How you doing, everybody? Welcome to my channel. This is You Too Can Be Great. Now, this is the Royal Housewives of Potomac season 5, I believe episode 6. I'm not sure. I'll put the correct name down on the description below. Review. This is the episode that just did tonight, or that just did a couple hours ago. But before I get into the meat of this review, I have a little treat for y'all. So go ahead and check out what I just did and what I just posted, available on paperback and Kindle on Amazon. Child, this is book 2. Check this out real quick. It's here. It's out. Unleash is available on Amazon, ready for you to purchase, paperback and Kindle. Thank you. All right, so we're back. Basically, this episode I did today, I had a few things that kind of irked my spirit while I was watching it, right? For one, I feel like Candiace needs to stop acting a little bit ignorant, because it seems like the immaturity that I notice when it comes to Candiace is that Candiace can sometimes be difficult. In other words, she can be stubborn. And if you try to tell her, you made a mistake in this area, I understand why you did this, but you made a mistake handling it this way, she don't want to hear it. When Monique, what I remember previous seasons, Monique has made a conscious effort to try and tell Candiace that Candiace behaves immaturely. Monique, in this situation, how she handling her problem, is behaving immaturely herself. She needs to go on and handle her scandal with dignity and go home and tell her husband that she has not been having sex, even though Charisse decided to go and tell the entire Potomac that she has been one of those females that have been running through her trainers. She should have gone home and told her husband, listen, baby, I want you to know that no matter what anybody says or what's going on, I'm not doing nothing with this trainer. Matter of fact, I'm not even working with him no more. That's all she had to do at home. At the same time, I had people commenting saying, you know what, Monique has this type of attitude. You know, Monique shouldn't be mashed. Candiace has the right to be friends with whoever she wants to be friends with. That is absolutely true. Candiace is an adult. She can befriend Charisse if she wants to. But they did a flashback in this episode, throughout the episode that I'm going to talk to, where they flashback to actually talking to Giselle's messy ass and actually saying that when Monique and Candiace had got into it, that Candiace had gone above and beyond to befriend somebody that she knew at this point was not on good terms with Monique. Charisse and Monique had a relationship earlier on. Their relationship fell apart. I forgot what the reason was behind it. If you remember, tell me below, but I know that it fell apart. And so she befriended Candiace as an older sister. I understand Monique's standpoint, because if I was married and I was friends with you, as females, we're going to have disputes. We're going to have disagreements. I don't agree that you now go, because you're mad at me, go out of your way to befriend somebody, knowing that that person has been running their mouth about, rumors that could really destroy my household. That's beyond low. Charisse and her little boring ass got left by her husband, and she's miserable. And so she's out there spreading rumors that can ruin my family, because she don't got her own husband there, and the family that she once has broke down. And the man didn't give a damn when he was leaving her. He was treating her like she was garbage. So she feels like if I'm mad at Monique, I can do the same to her. I feel like Charisse is jealous of Monique, and that's why she behaved the way that she behaved. On the other hand, even though Candiace can use the excuse, Charisse is her own person. Charisse is even older than me, child. She can do whatever the hell she wants to do. I can be friends with whoever I want to be friends with. If you're friends with me and you want to go and befriend somebody who's running their mouth and spreading rumors about me, that is not a friend to me. So I can understand Monique's standpoint. What I don't understand with Monique is why she doesn't take it upon herself to go and actually have a conversation with Candiace and display her feelings in a mature manner. What it's coming off as is that she's taking moments to take digs at her on the confessional or on her little podcast that she was doing. She's doing this podcast and she's trying to have 300 people. She only sold 20 tickets. Girl, you out here wasting your husband's money, number one. Number two, while she was saying that, she said that she wanted to have the grand dame and her husband come and give us a little bit of information about their long-term marriage that has lasted centuries, right? And she wants their nugget of wisdom to be added to this podcast. When she brought up Candiace, she said Candiace might not come to the podcast, but she used the excuse, she threw in a jab saying something like, I don't know how I can ask them about their honeymoon phase because they didn't go on a honeymoon. Child, Monique, the one thing I respect about Candiace is Candiace made her money on her own. She has a beautiful singing voice, and she was also a pageant girl. And those things do pay when you do, appearances and stuff like that. I would not know who Monique is if she did not get married to the man she married, and if she did not move to Potomac and now make a name for herself based on her man's income. I see all these things. So I don't think that Monique has a leg to stand on to be talking about Candiace the way that she's talking about her, like a dog. Mad or not, you're doing the same thing that you were mad at Candiace doing. You're doing the same thing to her in a different way. Number two, let's get to Ashley and Michael's perverted ass. And yes, I said it. Michael is a hoe, and to me, he comes off as a pervert. Why do I say it? Michael is significantly old, and that's not a lie. You can look at him and you just wait for the dust to show. And no, I'm not old shaming him. If that's what somebody's going to say, you're fat shaming, you're slut shaming. I'm not old shaming him. I'm old reading him, because what I see is a man who's taking advantage of a young, beautiful young lady. And I feel like Ashley, she's not dumb, but I feel like she's tolerating more than any decent person is supposed to tolerate in a decent marriage. Now, Ashley did tell us that, they did have an unconventional relationship prior, which we all knew with all the stuff that was going on. Ashley wasn't showing the typical behavior that I think a married person would behave if somebody told them that their husband is out there grabbing people's asses, right? So I already figured out that there's something that's going on between them to where they might have an arrangement going, like the Smiths. But the way that it's reading is that Michael lied to Ashley blatantly. Nobody in their right mind will believe that you, after you just told her, well, our intimacy was, hasn't been good. The girl just had your baby, and she said that she got a tear in her booty hole. How much sex is she supposed to give you when her booty hole is torn because she had your baby that y'all been planning so much for? You're being selfish and you're being inconsiderate. And if you can't control yourself long enough for her to heal and get back to the way that tells me that there's something wrong with you. You may have some issues and you need to talk to a professional or be studied, one or the other. But he puts it in the form of, we went out, we were hanging out, we went out to hang out with strippers, and then those strippers came to us. I'm like, strippers don't come to you, bruh. Like, it's almost like the way I was getting as if his poor self was just so drunk and the strippers came and took advantage of him because he's drunk. And then he woke up with the same boxers in the hotel room. She took a photo of him without him knowing when he turned his back. But he fell asleep drunk, and when he woke up, she was next to him and he didn't do anything. That's a lie. Because Ashley said that he confessed to kissing her on the way to the hotel. Michael, as perverted as he is not going to kiss a girl on the way to the hotel. They get into the hotel room where they're in the privacy of the hotel room, and all that's going to happen is a kiss. You sound like Quad and Greg Lunsford and his dumbass story that he told. Y'all sound just as stupid as them. Because here we are listening to this, and you just acknowledge that your intimacy was bad. You use that as an excuse to go out there and do what you're doing. Now, I understand that Ashley said that they had an open relationship. But she also clarified at the end of this episode during the wine tasting that they are not monogamous. They ended that. They can have threesomes, which I don't get it in a relationship. And I know that some people that watch my show here might say, okay, well, we have threesomes and it's cool. What I find in a lot of situations is when threesomes are involved, there's either the male or the female or the two couples, whichever you have your couple, and you invite a third party into your room. There are a lot of cases where once you open that door, the person you're with is going to make the assumption that, well, hell, I can even screw that same person that you just invited as a third party without you being there. Even if you have the understanding that it was just a threesome, we got to do this together, there's always that open because you've already crossed that proverbial line. I think that's the right word to use. You already crossed that line. That line has already been crossed. So it's almost easier for me to keep crossing it, because Ashley said that they've had, extramarital relationships in the sense that she's been with other females. He's probably been with other dudes. Her concern was, does he have a boyfriend that's married to me? I don't see the difference, in my opinion, because I feel like if you're open for them to go and sleep with somebody else, you have to be open for whatever comes along with it. What if they meet the person they're having sex with and they enjoy themselves too much, they keep going back to that person, and then feelings get involved, and now you have another relationship going on, and even though it wasn't meant to be that way, it is what it is because that door was open. But I'm sitting here watching Michael and Ashley in the restaurant, and I know Michael's trying to keep and Ashley's trying to keep a straight face, but I low-key feel like Ashley she's acting like a fool, but at the same time, I don't think she's a fool either. Ashley will not leave this marriage, mark my words, without getting something from Michael. After going through all the stuff that she's going through up to this point, she is not going to leave that marriage without getting some kind of monetary compensation, because it seems like she's putting up with too much, and this is happening on national television, so she's being embarrassed left and right, and not by some man who's young and handsome, but somebody who's damn near looking like he got one foot in the grave, and you're wondering when he's going to drop. That kind of person is over there treating this beautiful woman like she's just something that he could just play with left and right. don't respect me that much and our baby that you're gonna go and have sex with a stripper in a hotel knowing that your ass is on TV and let that person take a photo of you and post it, and you didn't tell me about it till 7 hours after the fact when everybody else told me about it because you knew your ass was gonna get caught? No, Michael, you're full of shit. And because he didn't want to look as horrible as he was sounding, he got the producer to come and join him and try to say, I want to cut this, I don't want to talk about this, I don't want to put my business out there. Well, stop acting stupid because you're making yourself look like an ass. Okay? Now, as the show goes on, we have Monique taking a walk with her husband and the kids, exercising and whatnot, and they're talking about the podcast. In this conversation, I understand why Monique's mother-in-law does not like her, because she is not the moneymaker in the relationship, the primary moneymaker. He is. And Monique is trying to build a business using his money as capital. But the way that she's spending sometimes, it makes him uncomfortable. I can tell. And it seems like when he's trying to have a conversation with her about budgeting or maybe making some cutbacks, because you now spent $200,000 on a podcast that you're supposed to have 300 people to at least break even, but you only got 20. And now you got to offer people more gifts or incentives, which you got to pay for to make them buy more or tell people more about it. He's not comfortable with all these money going left and right when he's the one making it. You just there to spend more of it. I don't think he's okay with it. And Monique's interpreting it as, you're not being supportive. That's not being supportive. That's being cautious, because you don't know what's going to happen. What if he breaks his leg? What if he can't play no more? What if something happens and the money can't flow in the way that it's flowing in, but you out here just spending left and right because you're hoping that something will pan out. So I understand maybe that's what his mom is seeing. I don't think that she should have talked about her the way that she talked about her, because now she's the mother of her grandchildren. But I get that side. It can be pretty annoying as a mother to observe and maybe seem like you're only using my son's money and it doesn't seem like you're bringing as much as he is or even helping. I get that perspective. Now, she also brings up Candiace in the middle of the conversation, saying that Candiace may not show up to the podcast. If I was Candiace, I wouldn't show up to the podcast either. The way that you keep treating me at the lake house, you invited me so you can, pick at little things and nitpick and stuff like that. I wouldn't go to support you in your business because you're not treating me the way you're supposed to be treating me, or at least putting me to the side and telling me what your issue is, because clearly I'm too naive to understand that when I go and befriend somebody who's talking shit about somebody that's supposed to be my friend, it could be a bone of contention. So we get to the next scene. It's Giselle. It's Robyn talking to her parents about, her and Juan now considering marriage. And I was just like, this scene right here is unnecessary. It's just useless. It's ridiculous. It's just not something that I think that we should even be talking about, because we've been talking about this in season 1. Either you're gonna marry this man you've been living with anyway, or you're just gonna let it go. But this is not something, I feel like this is just a storyline that Robyn is dragging. If Robyn is not in somebody's business, she's talking about this Juan might marry me. We don't know. What if we get back to where it was? What if the same thing happens that happened a few years ago? We've been on this subject since season 1. I don't care no more, okay? But what I do care about is this book that I did that gave me a lot of research, gave me a lot of knowledge, and I think that will get you guys the same knowledge that I got out of it. And I hope you appreciate it as much as I appreciated it when I was putting in the work and thinking about what I want you guys to know about what's happening to us Black folk. Check it out.
It's here, it's out. Unleash is available on Amazon, ready for you to purchase, paperback and Kindle. Thank you.
Now that we're back, yes, boo, let's talk about the wine tasting. So Giselle had a wine tasting. She said that the wine tasting was about her and commemorating her and her award and so on and so forth. But I know Giselle. Giselle brings people together, the team together, especially in moments where there's things going on wrong, because it keeps her on the show to bring drama. Not her drama with her man that we don't know if he's still cheating or not, but drama with other people. So having Monique and Candiace and Ashley, what's going on with Ashley in the same room, you know what I'm saying? It's going to make some sense. Now, it makes some sense as far as bringing in the drama. That's what I'm saying. So they're together. LaDon, whatever, I keep forgetting her name, Karen. Karen is funny as hell with her confessionals and her little puns and her little wit that she throws, because I know she don't like Giselle's ass, but she said, I don't need to be here. You could have just FaceTime me. And I was like, Karen. Karen and Giselle and their drama is another story, because we know Karen she's over Giselle. But they're out there wine tasting, and I wanted to know why Wendy was wine tasting when Wendy is breastfeeding. I didn't understand that. Maybe people say that if you have a little bit of wine is okay. I don't think you should have any wine at all if you're breastfeeding at all, just to be extra cautious. But I don't know how much she was drinking. I just wonder, because I know that they asked her about the wine and she said something. And Monique said, you know, maybe your tolerance is different because you're breastfeeding. I'm just thinking she's breastfeeding and drinking. What's wrong with this picture? But here we are. Of course, Ashley's issues bring up. Ashley's keeping a brave face and nobody's buying her bullshit when she tells them that Michael told her that he didn't sleep with the girl. He only made out with her in the car, and that she believes him because he knows that the truth is going to come out. Why would he lie? Girl, he would lie because he don't want you to take him to court for child support and alimony and spousal support and every single thing that she can take you for with your little ass money, because you didn't show your ass and got caught with somebody taking a photo and putting you there. So we got you either grabbing asses or you going to a hotel with strippers and hookers, and you don't want her to take you because now when it's on the news, her lawyer can take you to court and take everything you got. So let's just lie and tone it down and say, you know what, it was just a kiss. That's what that was. Ashley knows the truth because Ashley already talked to her mama, and her mama knows the truth because her mama don't like Michael either. But for her to be pitching this to Giselle and Monique, they're all looking at her and asking her like, girl, are you really going for that? And she's trying desperately to explain the dumb shit that I know she herself don't even believe. Because Wendy, everybody was like, girl, no. Monique is like, no. This is not the situation like with me and my trainer, girl. No. Then you got Karen like, child, I understand Ashley stands. She needs to keep a brave face for these little vultures that are going to attack her. And Robyn's like, ain't nobody buying that Michael ain't that cheat on that girl. He's been cheating on her. Ashley does say that they decided to switch from polyamory to monogamy. And they asked, well, how long ago was that? She said recently. And they said, well, is Michael going to uphold that rule? I don't think he is. I think that when he said it during their little meal, and Ashley said, I don't want you to do this no more. Y'all paid attention, right? He said, so no more fun. To him, this is his fun because the man's a pervert. This is his fun. He enjoys being a philanderer. He only got married so Ashley can be her, you know, to carry the baby and give him children. That's it. He still wants to live his life where he gets to sleep with whoever he wants to sleep with. But I think he was supposed to be discreet about it, and he's not. Then we, Candiace and Monique get talking because, you know, they bring that stuff up because there's an issue, and Giselle's over there with her glasses watching them, you know, the debauchery go down. And Candiace is now irritated with Monique herself. She's not just going to be, you know, being a punching bag. She's not going to respond. But she says something along the lines that Monique had pretended to fall asleep at the cabin when she was saying goodbye to everybody trying to leave, and that Monique was pretending so she don't say bye to her. Do I believe that? No, because it had already been days and she did plan this and she probably was tired. I don't think that she was faking her sleep, but I do think that Monique and Candiace are at this point looking for something with each other to try and figure out what the other person is doing, because neither one of them are cognizant of where they're going wrong. They're both acting incorrectly and treating each other incorrectly. So they start arguing about sleep, and Monique is throwing digs at her and, you know, about, I'm a mom, you probably don't know what that's like. And then Candiace is like, you're mommy shaming me, and Monique's like, you don't have a baby, so how the hell am I mommy shaming you? And it's just, the argument becomes very petty and stupid and a waste of time. But as that argument was going on, you see Ashley make a beeline in another direction because they had already flashback, and basically Ashley was the one who snitched to Giselle and told Giselle what was happening. And Giselle probably took that news to Monique. Now, we all know that Monique had a chance prior when Cherie showed up to the hotel. I think Ashley's hotel, when they were showing off the baby. She had the opportunity to address Charisse at that moment, but she didn't want to do it. So why? I feel like it's a misplaced anger, because I think that Monique may have valued Candiace's friendship a hell of a lot more than Charisse's ass. And so now she's treating her like trash because she's masking hurt with anger. And Candiace is masking hurt with anger. They're both doing the same thing in different forms to each other. So I don't particularly like the way Monique is treating Candiace, but I need Candiace to kind of use her deductive reasoning skills and consider what could possibly happen to get to this point. And I need Monique to act like an adult who's older than Candiace and address it correctly, because we're only on episode 6. There's going to be a few more episodes. We can't just keep dragging this out because it's going to end up in blows. Like what we see is going to end up in blows because these two are just arguing over petty shit. For real. All right. Anyway, please like, subscribe, and notification bell. Go ahead and check out the book. For those of you who do purchase the book and do read it, please go ahead and leave me a comment on Amazon. Let me know what you think. It's my first nonfiction. It's based on truth. It's not a history book to where it's going to bore you. It's written like a story. There's pictures. If you want to see it in color, get it on Kindle. If you want to see it in black and white, get it on paperback at home, and let me know what you think. The second book for Just Add Pepper, for those of you who read it, is called Sage. It's going to be out at the end of this month. So I'll also pitch that one too. And that one is fiction. Nothing to do with facts, just entertainment and drama for you, boo. Okay? Go ahead and check those out. If you haven't read my first book, Just Add Pepper by A.S. Blaine, I put all the information in the description box. Go check it out. Both are on Amazon. You guys have a wonderful evening. Bye.